All right, so you see people and they have jobs, and yet somehow they look like they're absolutely crushing it at life, right? So it's like their teeth are white, they don't have bags under their eyes, and somehow they still also have a clean house, right? So it's like, what in the world is going on? And I'm sure you're wondering, what am I doing wrong? What am I missing here? Why are they able to do all of this and keep their house clean at the same time? So today is your lucky day because I have a formula for a fail-proof cleaning schedule for busy moms. And I titled this for busy moms, but I'll be honest, it's for any human being that lives in any type of space and just needs a better way to keep up with everything. So with that being said, I'm Victoria Alexander. This is The Clean Care, and I help people get rid of mess, clutter, and chaos from their homes once and for all. So if you need some of that in your life, definitely subscribe. Today, I'm going to give you 5 tips, all right? You can follow them step by step, and this is how you will create your fail-proof cleaning schedule. So what's really important to me, though, is that if you don't get anything from this video, just know it's only a fail-proof cleaning schedule if you work with your personality and your current season of life. That's really, the only way to make it fail proof. So keep that in mind as we move through this, okay? So I want to go ahead and dive into these first 4 steps and let you know that they're somewhat like pre-work to me, right? So yes, we're making the schedule, but before we actually make the schedule, there are some things that you need to be aware of and thinking about before we can actually start outlining everything. All right, so also just keep that in mind as we're moving through. So here is step number 1. Step 1 is to know the difference between your daily essential tasks, those things that must be done every single day, versus the things that should be done weekly and then monthly, okay? So I know a lot of us get really hung up when we come home and there's laundry to do, dishes in the sink, baseboards are dusty, but I swear to you, baseboards should be the last thing on your mind when you have dishes in the sink and laundry out of control, right? So with that being said, you need to decide what are the daily tasks that are important to you, all right? And again, I keep saying you, I have to stress that because everybody has their own baseline for what should be done every single day in their home. For me personally, it's going to be dishes. It's always sweeping the floors, not all the floors, but like the kitchen and areas that just get messy or crumbs from the kids and things like that. Then trash going out at night is a big thing for me. And let me see, I don't want to miss. Yeah, those would be like my true main, like these 3 gotta get done no matter what type thing. All right, so figure out what are your daily absolute like, hey, this is what it is versus weekly. For me, weekly is vacuuming carpets. That could also be dusting in areas that get super dusty. Then you also have spring cleaning tasks and, hold on, I'm about to mess myself. Spring cleaning tasks and monthly things, right? Or even semi-annual type things. So this could be, I don't know, changing out like that. It's like a weird vent fan mesh trap thing that like slides out over the stove, right? That might be a monthly thing that you clean as opposed to weekly, but that's just depending on who you ask, right? So again, I'm stressing it really boils down to what's important to you. I will also say though, if certain things are attracting, bugs or just making your environment not safe and turning into a hazardous zone, that's something then that should be tackled daily. So I'm always going to say anything relating to food laying around, that's not something that should be like a weekly cleanup. No, like you need to pick that food up off the floor, okay? So let's go ahead and wrap this one up. What needs to be done daily versus weekly versus monthly. Don't get it confused. It's very, very important that you know what are those must-do daily tasks, okay? So let's go on to step number 2. How much time and energy do you actually have, okay? How much time and energy do you actually have? So the big thing with this is I know we all get super excited when it's time to start planning, and we're looking towards the future and we see who we want to be. But the big issue is that we kind of forget who we are right now. So who we are right now isn't always ideal, right? Like we want to be that future self, that highest version of me, right? But that person's not here today. So as you're planning your schedule and you're planning your time, you need to be 1,000% realistic about what can you reasonably expect from yourself on your worst day, right? There's the true you. You don't need to sugarcoat anything. And I'll use an example, right? So I've been wanting to wake up and do 10 push-ups for the longest time. Like I cannot tell you, all right, 10, but I have literally done 0. Yes, 0. And this has been a goal for, I'll probably say at least a year, the whole year. So with that being said, when I finally tried this strategy and I said, okay, how about I just do 1 push-up a day? Just 1, right? I immediately was able to get up and start doing like 7, 8, 10, 15, on a given day. And it's like, okay, so I went from 0 for all these months and now I'm literally crushing it, right? So I say all that to say that, maybe sometimes we shouldn't be shooting from the stars. Sometimes we do need a little bit of reverse psychology on ourselves. And with that being said, plan as though you are you right now, not as your future self. And eventually over time, you will raise that benchmark, raise those minimums so that you can walk into being your future self, but it's not going to happen overnight. The other thing with this is the more successes you have, the more confidence you have, and the more confidence you have, obviously the more you'll be able to achieve, right? And it'll be a whole lot easier. So with that being said, when you set that benchmark too high, when you're making plans as though you are operating as your highest self, even though you are not doing that today, then you're setting yourself up to fail. And that sabotages your confidence, which of course keeps you down in that dark hole, right? To where you're making plans, but deep down, you don't even feel like you can actually do this. So again, plan as though you're your worst self. So what I'm talking about is on those days when you have 0 energy, on those days when you're the absolute busiest, what can you get done on those days? Okay. That will become your new minimum or your new standard. And from there, we will build. All right, let's move on to step 3. That is, you need to plan in a way that works for your personality. Now, some of you are definitely like minute by minute planners, and that, you want every single minute of the day accounted for. That makes me want to throw up. I don't know how you do it, but kudos to you. Other people are more so like, hey, I know what I need to get done, but I'm just going to wait for a sign from the universe to tell me, okay, boom, this is when you should do it, right? Then you have people like me that are just somewhat in the middle, right? I need specific times throughout the day to serve as like, hey, we're entering into a new quarter. So maybe like a football game, right? I'm a first quarter, halftime, last quarter kind of girl. I don't need minute by minute type things that, like I said, not for me. But I do need to know when, hey, it's time for me to pivot to a whole new activity or task, or we're just at this point of the day, so you need to kick things up or whatever. With that being said, I'm saying all that to say there's no right or wrong here. And this is something that you may just have to experiment with over time, but your actual planning style is something that you need to know, because again, if you're trying to do what you see everyone else do and plan in a way that it just doesn't work for you, again, it doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. You're just not working with your personality. Okay. So now that you're aware, let's move on to the next step. So step number 4 is, what's your cleaning personality? So your cleaning personality, just like your planning personality, there is no right or wrong. Okay. And all this is really talking about is, how do you like to clean? So I see some people and they like to clean their entire house in a whole day. Other people, they're repulsed by that idea and would much rather, if I say, hey, just do 5-minute chunks every single day then. And they're like, I can do that all day long. Other people may like zone cleaning, and essentially there's a bazillion different ways to do it, right? There's no right or wrong. But again, you need to be aware of your cleaning personality or cleaning preferences as you move into creating what we said will be a fail-proof cleaning schedule. Okay, so again, you need to be aware of your own cleaning personality. How do you like to break things down to actually get them clean? And again, this isn't like a set in stone thing. It's just something to be aware of, because this could change from year to year, or even like month to month, or even week to week, depending on what your schedule is, right? You may have to try different things to work around, like I said, your current season of life or your current schedule or energy and things. So the more you know, though, the more tools you have so you can use them at your disposal. And this also helps you to stop beating yourself up when what worked, last month isn't working this month. It's a new life. You have new things going on, and you simply need to adapt and be flexible. All right. So before I get into step 5, let me do a quick recap of these first 4 pre-steps, which are knowing your step 1, knowing your daily, weekly versus, spring cleaning style task. Then step number 2, you need to be aware of your current time and energy levels or capacity. Okay, what can you really do? And again, not that best version of you that doesn't exist yet, like the real you, the trashy you. Okay, what can the messed up you do? Step number 3, what is your planning personality? Step number 4, what's your cleaning personality? And then we move on to step number 5, which is where you can actually outline your weekly cleaning schedule. When you outline it, all you're going to do is, a Monday through Friday type bit, and plug in those daily tasks. That will be your new minimum. From there, if you have time, or if once you've mastered being able to keep up with the basics, you can sprinkle in some of those weekly tasks or even some of those spring cleaning style tasks. But I highly recommend that you literally start with the basics if you have not got those if you have not got those mastered. Again, the daily tasks, the ones that you outlined as, the most important ones. So work on that, Monday through Sunday. Then sprinkle in weekly tasks as you can in whatever way that works with any of your with your cleaning personality and your planning preferences. Sprinkle it in, like that. So you may have your daily tasks lined up Monday through Sunday. Again, we know these are the non-negotiables. And then every Thursday is the day you clean your entire house. That might be one. For someone else, it may be, again, Monday through Sunday has all the daily tasks, but then they have 15-minute chunks of time where they focus on one thing. So Monday might be a day to vacuum, Tuesday might be a day to dust, Wednesday might be a day to do baseboards, Friday might be a day to do windows, who knows? Again, there are a bazillion examples of great daily schedules or weekly schedules online. So I definitely encourage you to check out some. But again, it's not about just doing exactly what someone else says. You do need to put a little thought into this, all right? A bonus tip I wanted to give you is that instead of just trying to plan 1 week at a time, try to do a 2-week session, right? Where you have Monday through Sunday once and then Monday through Sunday again. So 2 weeks. And that way you can actually spread all the cleaning out over a longer period of time. And this is really stemming from the fact that I have a cleaning service, and the most popular frequency that people book with us is every 2 weeks. So that means the bathrooms are getting a full cleaning every 2 weeks. The kitchen is getting a full cleaning every 2 weeks. They are maintaining between appointments, right? So you can also do that maintenance, right? A quick wipe down of the counters, getting those dishes done, sweeping every day. That's maintenance stuff, but you'll do a full, like, boom, we're cleaning knobs, we're getting honey off of kitchen handles, all this kind of stuff every 2 weeks. So keep that in mind. With that being said, if you enjoyed this, I definitely invite you to check out the Clean Cure Vault, where I have a fail-proof cleaning schedule template that you can download, or a printable, whatever you guys call it these days. I don't know what you kids are doing. Anyway, you can grab that from there. And with that being said, I do hope you enjoy the next video. Bye.